are live. How are you doing? My name is Joseph Googie. I am one of the co-founders of Pre-PT Grind, and I'm absolutely excited for this evening. We have a Pre-PT, soon to be PT student after getting accepted, but you'll hear a little bit from her and her story as she shares her journey. But we have Robyn coming into this group live. Robyn will be sharing her story. We have Miss Robyn. Robyn, thank you so much for joining us here live. Robyn, this is just going to be a conversation between the two of us, and the rest of them are just going to listen in on it. Is that cool?
Cool.
Is that all right? All right, perfect. We have Shantez, we have Jasmine, we have Dawnette, Shanahan, of course. We got Sarah. Perfect. We have a great team tonight. And if you are team live, let us know. If you're a team replay, also let us know. But tonight, we want to be conversational. I know that Robyn's story is very similar to a lot of other individuals in this group, other pre-PTs, and it all might be a little different from your story. But I know for a fact, after every call that I have been on with Robyn, after the process we've gone through this year to really get her to where she is right now, I know for a fact that this story has been absolutely inspirational to me. And if it's inspirational to me as a physical therapist, I know for a fact that it's the inspiration. So Robyn, how are you feeling right now?
A little nervous, but I'll be okay.
It's all right to be nervous. It's perfectly all right to be nervous. We were talking about this before, and I was telling Robyn that my first live stream, you have to be honest sometimes, but my very first live stream in 2017, I paced around the room for 45 minutes before I clicked live, because it's like, man, this is happening right now. People are going to be looking at. I mean, it was weird, but honestly, once you start going, it's absolutely fantastic. And so I'm really excited. And Robyn, you have an absolutely inspirational story, and really everything that you represent is what I hope and dream for every pre-PT in this group. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your evening to share your experience. Yeah. Before we begin, Robyn, how many hours did you work today?
I started at 6:30, so
That's a lot.
14.
14 hours. Robyn is one of the hardest working people I've ever seen in my life. All right. So every time when we're getting on one of our consultation calls, I'm like, Robyn, how many hours you working this week? And she'll give me some crazy number. But Robyn is an absolutely hard-working individual. And if she can do it, then so can you. So Robyn, let's start from the beginning. Why did you choose physical therapy in the first place? Before we jump into what happened this year and how crazy of a year it's been for you, why did you choose PT in the first place? And what do you like? What was the drive? What was the push? Why not do something else? Because the reason why I asked that is because this is going to give a lot of clarity to somebody in this group right now, somebody that is on here live. And we have Courtney and everyone else. As you're coming on, let us know that you're here just so we can say hello to you. But for those that are listening tonight, why did you choose physical therapy?
So I'm a personal trainer. I've been a personal trainer for the last 6 years, and I started working in the fitness industry a decade ago, but I have gotten to a point where I can't help my clients as much as I want to. I have 90% of people coming in with some sort of surgery or pain or something in their background, and they want to lose 100 pounds or they need to lose body fat or whatever, and I can't help them to the level that I want to. And so I want to kind of take the next step in my education and be able to help people on a deeper level and be able to kind of help people transition from physical therapy back to normal activity through strength training, through personal training, and combining those two worlds.
I love it. So what Robyn is really pushing to do is she's saying, I have a group of people that I love to help, that I love to serve, but I feel limited, and physical therapy really has the key, which it does. And so now you decide that PT is it, but you had already gone down a different career path, correct?
Yep.
How many years from the last time you took a prerequisite type course or any of those classes till the moment you decided, okay, I got to go back to school?
7 years.
7 years. So before we get any deeper, is it ever too late?
No, it's a lot of work, but it's never too late.
Exactly. And the reason why I pointed that out is because I know that in this group in particular, we do have students that are at the same point you were at, that have gone down a different career path. And listen up, even for the pre-PTs that are doing this straight through, you're going straight from undergrad, into application. This is still an important point to make, because I really do believe that, especially when you're coming out of being, in a different profession, different career path, you many times, and this is not everybody, but you primarily have much more clarity as to why you're choosing physical therapy. So for Robyn to decide, I got to go back to school after 7 years, after having a full-time job, it's like a double full-time job. Let's be real. Like, after having a full-time job, it required a high level of clarity as to why she was doing it. And you can hear from what she said. She said, this is why I want to do PT. It's not, oh, I saw it. I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw it. And it's like, no. She said there was a certain group of people that I've been serving. And I realized that there was a key that I needed, and that only came through physical therapy. Megan says, our stories are similar, Robyn. 5-year yoga teacher here. Thank you for sharing. Look at that. Look at that. And so, Robyn, when did you decide to start taking classes again?
A year ago, May. Whoa. So a year and a half ago.
So that happened fast. Mm-hmm. Talk us through what that process was like, reacclimating back to classes, getting back into the swing of that, and trying to meet the expectations of, the soon-to-be application process.
It was tough. I had forgotten how to study. I had forgotten how to actually go to classes. And I remember one of my chemistry lab partners looking at me and they're like, are you like 40? And I'm like, no, honey.
Oh, terrible.
So, I mean, it was going back to school with kids that are taking PSEO classes or freshmen. And I felt really out of place, going back and retaking every single prerequisite that was required. And so it's been a long road, and I've taken a full load of classes every semester and working full time, just trying to pay the bills and keep on top of my clients and everything here. So it's been kind of really stressful balancing everything, and sometimes things fall off and you have to just continuously find that different balance of what needs attention now. And task management is my number one skill that I've been trying to focus on learning, because it's finding not the time, but really the organization to get the things done that I need to get done.
How do you do that, though? And I'm asking this, Robyn, forget everybody that's listening right now. I know we have F. Scott that just joined, and I'm going to read Sarah's comment in just a little bit. But for me, just the two of us, how do you balance all of that? Like, what is the process that you decide, okay, this is what I have to do to get my life together? You're working a lot of hours. You're retaking classes. You haven't been in class for 7 years at least, and now you're going back into a high swing where students that have been in school for the last 7 years that are still comfortable with their study styles and everything. Like, how do you balance it all out? Like, how do you make it work? I know there's that grit element about you, but like real talk. How did you actually make that happen? And I'm saying that because sometimes I've felt really confused in terms of how to balance my life out. And really, for a lot of students on here that are in the same boat as you, how do we actually do that realistically?
You just do. I mean, it's just, okay, I have an exam. I have to study for my exam. And then there's times like last night where I take a break from all school, all work stuff. And it was my husband's birthday and he had a production. He's a fight choreographer and a lot of cool stuff, but I had to go see his show. So it's like, sometimes that's the most important thing. And sometimes it's spending extra hours up in the middle of the night working on my studies. And sometimes it's at work, but it's really just, I had to do it. I mean, I want to do this and I was going to do whatever it took. And if that meant pulling 18-hour days, because that's what I do, I pull 18-hour days in order to get what I need to get done. And sometimes it's 80% is what I need. I had to let go of the absolute perfectionism in my life and really focus on what is good enough to get me to where I want to go. So it wasn't always shooting for 100% on every single thing, but really what can I do to balance my life as I need to.
Wow. And what's hard sometimes, Robyn, is I know we're gonna go like deeper into your story. What's really hard sometimes is it's it's relatively easy to start off with that level of energy, saying, "I just have to do it. I just have to do it. I just have to do it." But what a lot of us won't see are the days where you didn't feel like doing it, are the days where you didn't feel like going to work still, are the days you didn't feel like studying for the exams, are the days where you felt like you were like just trying to make sure that your like your relationship was, you know, on track, making sure that, I mean, like, I don't know how much you want to touch on that, but I know that it's very, like, right now you've already, you know, finished your journey, at least that phase of that journey, but that part sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That part is frustrating, and for you, like, I still think you're superhuman to a degree, but what were you telling yourself? What were you telling yourself to still keep going on the days that you weren't like all like, okay, I'm on my grind today, on the days where you didn't want to do it, but you still had to? Like, what were you telling yourself to keep yourself like on track to really getting to where you are right now?
Just really looking at the end goal of where I want to go, and this is how I have to get there, one step at a time. And the other thing that really kept me going was just having a group of people around me to support me, having not only like my husband and my friends, but also having the online community, season 3, out there, but having an online family to really build me back up and realize I'm not alone in this journey. Because going back to school, I felt alone, and embarking on something that, you know, personal trainers and physical therapists don't always get along. And so embarking on something where I felt kind of alone in that track as well was really having extra people around me to say, you're doing what you meant to do. This is what you want. This is where you want to go, and just keep going one step at a time.
And I think, like, for anyone watching right now, whether it's Megan, Ryan, Sarah, we have Anisabel, Courtney, we have a lot of you watching right now. If you're watching this live, you're watching this on replay, and you felt at any point in your journey the same way Robyn had felt or was feeling in those moments, where really a lot of it is just feeling isolated. A lot of it is um, really alone for a number of reasons. Alone because you hadn't been in school for a while. So there's that detachment where you're like, oh, I can't even keep up at the level they're at. They're comfortable with absorbing this level of content. They know their study styles. They know how to pass exams. They know how to fit in with everything else. You're struggling with a full-time job as well. You're doing that, feeling lonely because it just felt like you're on your own path. And so I don't know if there's someone on here that is watching that has felt that same way, like just absolutely isolated. And really a lot of times it just feels like a dark cave where you have no idea like where the exit is. But just really for Robyn, that's why I asked, because I know for me, like, I've struggled with those moments, but sometimes I'm not as clear, like clearly visionated as you were, where you were able to see your end. Sometimes I'll forget my end. You know what I mean? Like, on those days, I'll forget like where the heck I'm going, and I'll have to have, you know, other people around me to really keep me focused, and just to remind me where I'm supposed to be headed, where I'm supposed to be going. And so really, like, if you felt that way, if you felt that way, it's okay to let us know below, and that's why we have this. And Robyn just said it. Part of her trip is also the community that she's part of. Because one thing that I know for sure is really, like, online has changed how we do everything. Robyn, when's the last time you and I met?
Haven't.
How long have we known each other?
A year-ish.
Okay, but we've never met.
We've never met.
Think we know each other pretty well?
Mm-hmm.
Think we know each other's personalities pretty well?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Have we had a pretty successful year?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so online is changing the game. Don't worry, I'm gonna meet Robyn in May in
Mm-hmm.
Florida. We already got it planned out. But online is changing the game. And if you're a pre-PT finding yourself in the same position as Robyn was, and the story's not even done yet, But if you're finding yourself in the same position that Robyn was in, you have to understand that you don't have to feel isolated. Like, you don't have to. And sometimes it's easy to feel isolated or to feel alone even within the crowd, but just understanding that there is, like, right now, honestly, even with pre-PT grind, we have it's like a crash, it's like a cheat sheet where you just have access to all these people. The very group you're in right now, you have access to so many people, and if you take advantage of them, then you really start getting down the path that Robyn was in. And so we have Donette says yes. There's a comment we had below. Sarah said, I've been a vet nurse for the last 10 plus years, heading back to school in January. I'm 36 and starting over. Let's go, Sarah. Let's go. It's never, never, never too late. And then Shanahan says, 50-hour work weeks, family and new baby in December, going to school full time. We got to keep pushing forward. Exactly. See, this is why I need Robyn, I need Shanahan, I need Sarah, I need Donette, because there are so many pre-PTs that just don't understand that it is possible, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of what the circumstances are, how busy your job is, how busy your semester is. It doesn't really matter. And if you're saying you don't have time, how many hours you work a week, Miss Robyn?
A lot.
Mm-hmm. More than 50?
Yes.
Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. She has the same 24 hours as you do. So take us into 2018, Robyn. 2018 was quite a year, wasn't it?
Yes.
Quite the year. So early in 2018, tell us a little about what was going on, and now you've taken quite a few classes. You're several months away from applying into PT school. At this point, what's going on? Had you found us at that point already?
Yes. Okay. Yes, just perfect, barely, perfect. Like February.
So you found us already, and you're. Oh, perfect. So you just found us. I don't know if you can. Am I freezing up? Am I good?
I think you're good.
I'm good. Perfect. And so now it's February, March, April. What did you do to make sure that by the time this application cycle opened, you are locking yourself in to physical therapy school, that you are giving yourself the best shot? Because you right now, like, Robyn, here's what's so great about your story. And this is what's so great about the story of many pre-PTs, that they don't realize it, is the reason why you're doing it in the first place. And for you, you were like, shoot, I didn't go through 7 doggone years. I didn't go through the amount of hours I'm working, a week, which are not a small number. I didn't go through everything that I had sacrificed. I didn't go through being alone to just be like, hey, let me just try this cycle and see what happens. What steps did you take? How did you say to yourself, Robyn, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to put myself in the best situation possible? What did you do?
I sent you a message. It was like, what do I need to do in order to make sure I'm ready? And trying to get through all my grades, all my classes. And I started looking at PT CAS and started freaking out because I had no idea what I was doing. And it was a lot more intense than I thought. And I started watching videos, started watching podcasts, started reading the blogs. And then we hopped on a webinar and then got into the accepted system. And that was life-changing as far as learning I'm not alone, all the journey of all the people across the country that are now FAM, and really just being uplifted by that and going through this journey with other people and sharing, okay, I have a question on the application of PT CAS. What does that look like? And having the resources there to actually walk through it versus struggling through it on my own, which is just what I felt like. I was so overwhelmed.
It's like you decided to invest in yourself. You decided that you had to put yourself around other people that were just as hungry as you were. But really, you were like, well, what do I have to lose? Every year that I don't get accepted, that's me losing a full PT salary. That's me really having to work another, several years. That's me like, well, shoot, I'm already 7 years out, which is borderline for most classes that I have to retake. But if I do another year, that's now guaranteeing that most of my classes, period, I'm gonna have to retake all over. And you were just putting like you were like, I have to do it. Y'all have to understand, like Robyn and I had conversations
Yep.
where even after applying, Robyn, let you even tell this part. Even after applying, there were moments where even Robyn, like after applying, she was like, I don't know how the heck this is gonna happen because my 7 year gap is screwing me up. My 7 year gap is messing me up
Oh.
because there's classes that I was supposed to take that now schools are saying, you know what, that doesn't even qualify. That doesn't even qualify for what we need because we have a 7 year window. If anything is older than 7 years, now you have to retake it. So Robyn had been working her behind off only to get to the point where she was going to potentially be told she couldn't even apply.
Yep.
Do you remember that, Robyn?
Yep. I do. It was brutal.
It's a scary moment. It's a scary moment because you sacrifice so much to get to where you're at. Passion is part of it, but there's a hell of a lot of sacrifice. Monetary sacrifice, emotional sacrifice, familial sacrifice. Well, time you already sacrificed, so I don't even know where we're going with that. But really, just after having given so much, you just had a door slammed right in your face. And I remember exactly where I was. I was in one of my friend's Jeeps when we had that phone call. I was outside sweating in the sun. Man, things I do for people that I care about. I'm sorry, I'm sweating outside in the car because they didn't leave me the keys. I was locked in there. But I was like, yo, we got to take care of Robyn. And I just remember us talking about it and strategizing and saying, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. And after going through that process, I want you to remind yourself. I want you to, in front of everybody, just recall the day you finally got accepted in your first program.
I was freaking out because I thought for sure I wasn't even going to be allowed to have my application reviewed by several of the schools because of my classes not actually counting because they're outside of the window. I was petitioning for classes as fast as I could. And I remember that weekend, I was literally spending about 10 hours just going through different schools and trying to find other programs that were still open that I could still apply for and have enough time to write the essays for certain programs. And I was literally spending hours making new spreadsheets, trying to apply to new schools and freaking out like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I had an awful morning at work. I had a client that wasn't seeing the results that I was hoping for. And I just didn't feel adequate in my job that morning. And I went home. I had to leave work and just go take my lunch break at home. And I drove home and went to the mailbox and saw a letter. And I was almost too nervous to open it because I was so worried it was a rejection. And so I actually didn't open it on the driveway. I'm like, I just have to go inside. I have to go inside and have to wait. And then I opened it and just started bawling. Like I just started crying. And then it was just this like wave of, I actually did it. I actually got accepted. Yeah.
I was in the clinic. I was treating patients when, Robyn, I remember everything. Like I was in the clinic. I was treating patients when this was happening, and Robyn sent me a message. Man, I thought something had gone wrong. I thought, like, honestly, I really, like, when you texted me, you didn't even tell me. You didn't even tell me to text. You were just like, pretty much, you were like, SOS, we need to get on a phone call, like, ASAP. So I'm here like, oh, no, because keep in mind, like, Robyn and I have been working together. Like, she's been part of our accepted system, where Casey, myself, and our team have been working with her and several other winning pre-PTs to get them locked into PT school, which she did. But really, like it was after that entire process of going through the coaching and just making sure you were locked in. Like, yo, we've done everything on our part. That's all we knew. We knew that. You still hear me?
Mhm.
You still hear me, Robyn? All right, perfect. And
Yes.
so I knew that we had done. I knew that we had done everything in our part, in our power, to make sure that you had the best chance. And I'm in the clinic. I get this message. I saw it on my computer because usually my phone is not on me. And as it happened, I was like, shoot, I got to get on the phone with Rob. Something's wrong. As soon as I do it, first thing I hear is I got accepted. And like, I don't think you're like, there's something about, maybe it's just being part of that journey with. Maybe it's just the fact that we had gotten on so many phone conversations and we had like walked through this process and we had broken it down and I knew everything that it meant to you and I knew what the value of getting into PT school really was for you and I knew what this would mean for that year and a half that you had been pretty much slaving away at getting into PT school. And when he said that, I actually didn't like I believed it, but it was like when you're like in shock and you have no idea how to respond, like for a split second. And I was like, and I just started yelling. Like I lost my mind, because you freaking earned every word on that page. You earned, just like everyone who is listening to this video right now. When this is turned into a podcast episode, surprise! When this is turned into a podcast episode, everyone that will be listening to this, as you listen, when you get your acceptance letter, you will deserve every single page, every single word on that page. Just because your story is different from another pre-PT's doesn't mean a doggone thing. You deserve every single word on that page. Robyn did not take the traditional route. Robyn went, finished her degree, worked 7 years, then was going back to pursue something that she had fallen in love with because of how much it meant to her, because of the people that she was trying to take care of. Like, Robyn is literally like, she's the epitome of it's not about me. She really is. Because all she's been trying to do is figure out how the hell can I serve my clients better? Because I'm stuck. I'm stuck. And it seems like the only skill, the only profession that can really help me solve this problem is becoming a PT. So I'm going to do it for my people. I'm going to do it for my clients. I'm going to do it for the people that I already am taking care of. And that moment, when she opened up her letter of acceptance, it was all those people rejoicing with her. It was me, our entire team, her, like every single one that had a part to play in her journey was celebrating. And for you watching right now, there are a lot of people that are already investing in you. And if you feel like you're alone like Robyn, well, okay, you got to reach out to us like tonight. Stop wasting time. Contact preptgrind.com. Go to www.contactpreptgrind.com. But if you are saying to yourself, I have a team, I have a community of people that is willing and ready to push me, then you have a good head start already. But also understand that right now in this game of PT, what we have online, non-traditional coaching and non-traditional mentorship is a big aspect, is a big win for you as a pre-PT. If you want guidance, if you want the direct steps of how to get to where you want to go, find your point B. Find someone who is already where you want to be that can keep pushing you when it seems absolutely impossible. When schools are hitting you up and saying, yo, you're pretty like you're not even gonna be out, like you can't even really apply to our program because the classes you took, they're too old, it doesn't even work out, right? So how about this? How about you try another year? They don't feel your pain, they don't feel your frustration. Those programs don't know how hard you've worked. They don't know the amount of hours you put into. They don't know. They don't know the isolation. Does that make sense? So going to the schools and saying, hey, no. You have to find someone that actually cares. And that's exactly what Robyn did. But find people around you that can help support you and push you until you get your letter of acceptance. And also understand, I need somebody to comment. I deserve every word on my acceptance letter. Comment that below. If you're watching, comment, I deserve every word on my acceptance letter. Because Robyn, I can tell you one thing. Like, clearly, we haven't even rehearsed tons of story because we lived it together. I remember it was cloudy in Tampa, Florida. I know how many patients were in the clinic that day. I can tell you everything. I can't. But you deserve every single word on that letter of acceptance, as do many of the people that are in this group. If you want to be a PT, if you want to lock in on being a physical therapist, you really can't waste time. It has to be the necessity that pushes you. For Robyn, her necessity was kind of forced on her, but she also created it. She had the necessity of time. She had the necessity of her patient or her clients. She had the necessity of her family. She had the necessity of the fact that, well, if I wait another year, then I'm really guaranteed to take like an entire year's worth of classes again when I don't really have the time or the energy or the efforts to do. And the thing is, if you don't have that, then you're really finding yourself applying to a PT program without any amount of direction, really just kind of saying, hey, let's see what happens. Let me just apply to these schools and just see how it goes and all that stuff. You have to have necessity. You have to know why you're doing it. You have to lock in on this journey. Also understand that that hard work that you're about to put into will lead to you being and you deserving every single word that is on your acceptance letter, because it's coming. It's coming. It's really only up to you. So Robyn, honestly, congratulations once again. I know we've talked about this already, but congratulations once again. And there are a lot of students that are dying to be where you're at, and they're going to get where you're at. They just need to dig deep and find that level of necessity. They need to find, if you got to find guidance, if you got to get a coach, if you got to get something. I mean, like I said, if you stuck, stop wasting time. Go to contact3ptgrind.com and we'll take care of you. But honestly, make sure that you're putting yourself around the right people. Find people like Robyn. Honestly, if I was a pre-PT tonight, I'd say, okay, let me figure out who Robyn is. I see that she's tagged in this post. Let me send her a message. I think y'all just like friend request her and just send her a message and just be like, hey, you're Robyn. What would you think about this? What would you think about that? What would you think about this? You feel like you related with her, send her a message. You have online, you have this platform, you have this accessibility. And if that's what you want, then go get it. But it's going to require everything that Robyn did. So Robyn, thank you so much. You absolutely destroyed it. Absolutely. If people want to reach out to you, is there a way that you would prefer for them to reach out to you?
Facebook, Instagram, whatever works.
There you go. There you go. And you see her name tagged, and you guys saw the promo post. You can look at her name there. It's spelled the same way. Just go find her. Go find her. Talk to her. But also understand that this thing is meant to be yours. You just have to go get it. You just have to go take it. So send us a message. Contact 3ptgrind.com. Send Robyn a message. Ask her question after question after question. She might not get back to you till tomorrow or the day after because she's really busy. She got a busy schedule. She got a lot of people ahead of line. She has a queue that has at least like 50 people. You know what I mean? But honestly, she will take care of you. This is one of the best right here. And we have many more coming. We have lots of live streams coming in because we want to make sure that you're seeing and hearing not just from me and Casey, but from a lot of other winners that have gone down the path that you're going through, but have also accomplished it because they decided not to give up on their dream. They decided to take the next step towards finding non-traditional mentorship and guidance and coaching, but also putting themselves around the best in the game, which is other pre-PTs that are just as hungry, if not more hungry than them. And that's it. Thank you so much, Miss Robyn. Do you have any last words that you would like to share with the people?
No, just do it.
So eloquent. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Have an absolutely amazing night. Robyn, have a great night. Get some rest. And to everybody else, it's been real. Many blessings. Go get yours.